DJ Zullo with a Knicks Film School session. Knicks going to have to contend with that man Evan Mobley coming off a career night against the Bucks. The Cavs 5-5 in their last 10. No Donovan Mitchell in the last 3, though he's expected to play tonight. Evan Mobley, as I mentioned, big game against the Bucks, 38 points. Isolation, efficiency, Mitchell and LeVert both elite in isolation. Keep an eye on that. And the last outing between these two teams, the Knicks won and Donovan Mitchell struggled. Now let's take a look at some of the film from that Evan Mobley breakout game against the Bucks. Here, Brook Lopez is going to do a great job of staying on that right shoulder, but Mobley is able to fade back and hit that turnaround. And then Mobley, who does struggle a bit in the post in terms of the efficiency, is able to hit this drop step finish against George Hill. Mobley was able to show a wide variety of offensive maneuvers. Here he hits his mid-range pull-up against Brook Lopez. Didn't make a three-pointer and didn't make a free throw, so a rare 38-point, no free throw, no three-point effort by Mobley. Good finish on the pick and roll, and then he's able to go over the left shoulder here against Brook Lopez, negating the shot block attempt. Finally, he's able to take this pass in the corner, take a couple of dribbles, beat the closeout by Drew Holiday, and finish with the right hand. And now on to a guy in Jericho Sims who will have to contend with the Cavalier bigs in the post, and against the Raptors has some up and down moments in that area. Here, Scotty Barnes walks him down to the basket, hits that right-hand hook shot, and then Siakam tries to use finesse, and that allows Jericho to get a shot contest and force the bad miss. And now Siakam is going to use his physicality, hits Jericho a few times in the chest, and then hits that turnaround. And it's one of the things that I do worry about a bit with Jericho is when he can get knocked off balance, he can struggle a bit to load back up and get a quality shot contest on the defender. And then Siakam again is going to use physicality. Jericho stays strong and then gets a good shot contest and forces the bad miss. Now Donovan Mitchell, last outing against the Knicks on December the 4th, 8 of 22 from the field, 2 of 11 from downtown, guarded primarily by Quentin Grimes, who did a great job fighting over the top of screens, contesting with the left hand over and over again. Here he goes under, but again, contesting with that left hand against a right-hand shooter. Didn't matter which Knick guard was defending Mitchell. They made it very tough for him to get clean looks. Here, RJ closes that gap very nicely and contests with the left hand. And then when Mitchell has some isolation attempts, Quentin did a good job of holding him down and forcing tough makes. And then here, Mitchell has a good look at the basket, but I think Quentin closes that space just enough for Mitchell to notice his presence. And before we go, let's look at some of the Knick passing from the last game against the Raptors, where they had 30 assists. And as Benji Ritholtz, our colleague over at Knicks Film School, pointed out, the Knicks have passed up a lot of higher quality looks for tougher mid-range floater attempts. And here, Evan Fournier does a good job of making himself available. Julius finds him, and here RJ has a wall of defenders ahead of him, so he does a good job of kicking it to the corner. That's a high-quality look for Obi Toppin. And then good work by Jalen to get into the paint and then kick this out to Evan Fournier, who makes this three-point attempt. Our friends over at Shot Quality, and of course Benji, they're going to say that that look is the higher quality attempt, and then Jalen gets a nice pass from Julius in transition, and then a swing to RJ for the corner 3, and then the final attempt is RJ getting into the paint, kicking out to Quentin Grimes, who was able to beat the closeout and getting it to Jericho for the finish. For Knicks Film School, this is DJ Zullo.